by no means least, it's one of our favourites here on BBC London 94.9. So far this year, he's beaten a Lithuanian, a Latvian, a Welshman, a Hungarian, a Belarusian and a Frenchman. So far, he's stopped 5 of his 7 victims, and he's still only 21. He sells tickets, and what's more, I like him. Welcome back, the Prince of Hammersmith, Mr. George, St. George Groves. George, how are you, kid?
Hey Steve, how you doing?
Yeah, great. Sorry for squeezing you. Ron Bodie.
Squeezing me in?
No, listen, bruv, don't worry.
I can't believe it.
No, listen, sorry.
How long have I known you?
No, I feel terrible. I'm coming to you 5 minutes later than I said I would. I tell you what it was. Ron Bodie went on the missing list. I think he was having some Persian food somewhere, and I couldn't get him. George, listen, it's been a busy year. It's been a good year for you. This time next year, I've got you on my show next December. What have you done by then? Just won another 6 or 7 fights, or are you close to a title?
Oh, Jesus, we're close to a title. We're very close to a title. You know, as you say, I've had a very, very good year. You know, I feel like I'm ahead of schedule, Steve.
I think you are, to be honest with you.
You know, I've only had 7 fights, but, you know, I've done an 8-rounder. That was scheduled for 10. So
that was on David's undercard, yep.
That's right, you know. So, and I've had a little taste of it, and I want some more. We're, you know, the British title's the aim at the moment. You know, like, there's a lot of people in line for that. So, you know, maybe Carl Dilks is fighting for the Commonwealth title tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw that,
we're going to pop down there and, you know, maybe
show your face.
Opposition, yeah.
Because, I mean, I fancy you could be in the mix with Carl Dilks or whoever he's fighting, you know, assuming he doesn't win, you know, certainly within 5 or 6 fights. People want it to be a bit faster. Listen, George, let's forget about that for a minute. Tell me about your trip to Las Vegas to celebrate David winning the WBA World Heavyweight Championship and you coming through your first 8-rounder.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
What was that like?
I got a call on the Thursday to say, have you got a toothbrush and a pair of pants clean? I said, yeah. He said, right, you're coming to Vegas tomorrow then.
Oh,
well,
fantastic.
That is brilliant. So, yeah, obviously it was a massive thing for David because, you know, he was presented to the American press, presented with his new WBA belt by Oscar De La Hoya. So, you know, he was kind enough to invite me along too. So, had a nice chat with Oscar and a few other of the Golden Boy guys. They said, look, you know what, like, you're interesting, you're a good prospect. I'd love to see you over here in the States. So, things like that has been happening. You know, I was just thrilled to meet, you know, a big boxing idol.
And are you keeping your feet on the ground, George? Because even, you know, you're 21 and you've knocked out, you know, so you managed to get 7 wins in just over 12 months, but you still have got a good solid year of building, another 6 or 7 fights. Is it harder to keep your feet on the ground nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, it's not as much keep my feet on the ground in that I know I've got to train hard and I've got to work, you know, for everything I get. But when I'm looking at the opponents that are ranked above me, none of them seem out of reach, Steve, you know. So,
no.
You know, it's difficult, you know, like, it's always the fighter that gets blamed for you know, dodgy opponents, but, you know, you got to have...
Can I do what you can do, George?
Everything's got to be right to get the right opponents and get the right guys. Luckily, you know, I've been boxing, you know, guys from all over Europe.
I just mentioned that, yeah.
But they've all come and they've all gave me something to think about, basically. You know, they haven't come and fell over.
No,
so
that's no good. I mean, listen, no disrespect, George. It's no good you hitting people on the chin and then falling over without at least thinking. And that last fight, the 8-rounder, was brilliant.
Exactly, yeah. That guy had been in with some, you know, I mean, the guys that have gone on to box at world level. You know, he'd only been stopped once, so I knew he was going to be a tough cookie. So I wasn't actually going in there trying to put my hands up and knock him out.
You go for 8 rounds. Listen, George, I've got to cut you off. It's nothing personal. I love you. Have a great Christmas, George. I might get you on next week for your highs and your lows. Okay?
Yeah, I think you should. Take care, mate.
Next Wednesday afternoon, you're definitely going to be on. Griff sends in. He says, "Hi, Manny Pacquiao dismantling Hatton. Lows, the suicide of Darren Sutherland." Pot Noodle says, Garen Reese winning prize fight to the low Anthony Small. Box Rex Matthew S says the high. Ryan Rhodes winning them, the more losing in the same fight. And QPR Steve says, can I just thank you all at Radio London for helping me in asking Sophie to marry me. Oh, beautiful. And a special thanks to you, Steve. Be lucky. Now, I'm back on Wednesday next week.